Honda became the first Japanese automaker to declare it is going to transition away from gasoline car sales. And of course, this morning we had the announcement about 5 trillion yen over the next 10 years to speed up electrification. So in regard to this investment, what do you hope to see out of it in terms of increasing Honda's competitiveness in the EV market going forward?
We announced our goal to achieve complete carbon neutrality by 2050 just a year ago. We have set up step-by-step targets for the years 2040, 2035, and 2030, respectively. As part of those plans, we aim to produce more than 2 million electric vehicles a year by 2030. It is a crucial target that we need to clear in order to achieve our ultimate goal of complete carbon neutrality by 2050. I believe it is a necessary investment to accomplish our objective.
You've spoken about in the past the importance of quickly making the EV business profitable in order to survive a lot of the changes within the auto industry these days. How do you see your partnership with GM in this area helping Honda with that goal?
Electrification isn't an easy task. We can't picture our future of electrification on our own. Together with GM, we are able to produce very attractive vehicles by using each of our technologies. Most importantly, when Honda and GM come together in the global arena, we can develop our businesses effectively, and it is also very cost-efficient. The electric vehicles we are jointly developing can be produced at either factories. This style will eventually be very beneficial for our EV businesses, and we can be very competitive in the global markets.
It was recently announced that Honda and GM are going to be working to jointly develop more affordable electric vehicles. Of course, recently we've had a lot of movements in the price of raw materials, such as nickel, for example. Do you see this movement in material prices impacting your business with GM going forward?
We see the increase in material prices as very problematic, especially price hikes in nickel, cobalt, and manganese, which directly push up the price of EV batteries. We are making efforts like utilizing a technology to reduce the usage of cobalt in our batteries. But for instance, the price of nickel has surged 6-fold in the past year, and it's hard to absorb all the cost, no matter what effort we make. It is not just an issue for Honda. We could possibly handle this situation as a group, but to be honest, it is still a big issue which we don't have a clear solution for.
Last month, the big news obviously was Honda's tie-up with Sony to create electric vehicles. How do you see Honda's technologies and Sony's technologies coming together to create a competitive electric vehicle in the increasingly competitive market?
Sony and Honda are in totally different businesses. By crossbreeding each of our technologies, we believe we can see a chemical reaction. It's not addition, but multiplication. We expect our value can be multiplied. Honda can't exceed Honda by itself. It will be a huge benefit for us, especially in the area of electrification of our vehicles. It is a very challenging task, but I myself am involved in this project and very hopeful that this joint venture will create new value for our business in the next generation.
In your latest perspective, when do you see this chip shortage beginning to ease?
We have been told that the chip shortage would ease soon, but it never did. We are still impacted by chip shortages. We expect the shortage to continue at least during the first half of this year, and we expect it may last even longer. The chips that automakers use account for only 5% of all chips, but our businesses get impacted by other industries as well. We do have countermeasures from short to long term, but we can only do what we can do.
You've stated that there's not too much a direct impact on Honda's business from the situation in Ukraine right now, but how do you see this perhaps indirectly impacting Honda's business at the moment?
Our business in these areas are relatively small, so direct impact on our profit is not so big. But we need to watch carefully what impact this Russia-Ukraine situation will have globally. The palladium and neon gas we use for our production are largely impacted by the situation in those areas. We will take necessary steps if needed, but we are still at the stage of investigating how much influence it will have on our operation.